We here, and we got another show. Okay, and we're gonna show just how when our people turn around and celebrate something called 4th of July. That is a celebration of violence and death.
Right.
You know, that is the celebration of slavery, not freedom.
Damn
You
right.
understand? Like, you cannot, I mean, Officer Cabal said it earlier, said you cannot celebrate something you don't have. You understand? And our people are trying to celebrate, freedom when we don't have it.
Damn right.
We have not been liberated. We are not free.
God.
You understand? We are not free from anything and anyone. You understand? We are still being oppressed by the same people that you are, dying by all of the fireworks. Oh, we got a story where you died in a whole new way now. You understand? You not only died popping the damn fireworks, you turn around and died trying to manufacture the damn things. You understand? So, let me see. I'll see you the article real quick. So we're gonna get into that. I got before that. That first story about Corey Bush. This is off topic, but I definitely want to get into this as well. About, not Corey Bush. I'm sorry. What's her name? Tiara Banks, the senator was twerking for votes. I want to get off into that for a hot second and show just how much our sisters in this society, this place does not care if a black woman full out humiliates herself for a vote and to be a video vixen, to be on a commercial, to be on a TV screen for anything. You understand? The black woman humiliating herself is fully acceptable and right here in this backwards and twisted society.
Right.
You understand? And we're gonna go in on that twerking. You find the story yet?
Nah, give me one moment. I don't know.
It should say Senator, I think. Senator twerks for votes.
Yeah,
it should be one of the most recent ones. This article.
We'll
go into this before we go into the topic. I think this was ridiculous. You understand? They even got on the beach. Let's see if I can get the video up. They even got the sister out on the beach. Whenever you get it, you start. Yeah, Tiara Mac.
Sir.
Tiara Mac.
Alright.
Say something in the TikTok.
Sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Democratic Rhode Island State Senator Tiara Mack ripped for videoing herself twerking.
This is great. Let me see if I can. I think this is a video right here. Let me see if we play. Oh, snap, hold on. I didn't even. Did I really see it? Hold on one second.
You want me keep reading?
I don't think I connected it.
TV? I don't know.
Yeah. You gotta turn it on, and then you gotta turn the TV on first. You gotta do that. Make sure the TV is on, okay? And now I gotta connect this save real quick.
All right, so you want me to start reading a little bit while you
connect? Read more while I get this save.
She's twerking overtime for your votes. A Rhode Island state senator is getting ridiculed for posting a campaign video of her twerking.
Hold on. Now, she wasn't out just kicking it. On vacation, on a girls' trip. On just hanging out with the family. Or good night. Damn, I hope you wouldn't do that in front of your kids. Damn.
Yeah.
But of course, we've seen millions of videos, not thousands. They make it all the time. You got millions of videos where they are twerking in front of the kids. Come on with it.
Salakia, sir. I think you're mistaken. It's not in front of the kids. they twerking with the kids. The kids is twerking right alongside them. So it's not in front of them. Right? They are actually really being an example and showing their kids how they believe they should act and twerking with their children.
With the kids. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's ridiculous. So read that part again.
Kind.
It says she doing a what video?
A senator, it's like a Rhode Island state senator is getting ridiculed for posting a campaign video of her twerking upside down in a barely there bikini.
Upside down. Good damn night. And this is what I was saying about how this place, they don't care if the black woman makes a fool out of her damn self. They don't care if the black woman accidentally gets pregnant. You know what I'm saying? On purpose.
Right.
Accident on purpose.
Right.
We know it ain't no accident.
Damn right.
But I'm saying it that way on purpose because these are some of the claims that a lot of sisters like to make. And that this society, the white man, the doctors, everybody will support you on. And say, oh yeah, it was an accident. I understand. You didn't mean to make a baby. All you did was you meant to, smash and just pass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You meant to just hit and quit, but you accidentally had a baby in between. Like, don't be stupid. You understand? But this place, like, showing off all of her body, you understand, in the video, and of course she looks good, and guess what? They like that. They like for her to show off that good-looking body, make yourself look stupid, look like a whore, look dumb, look whatever. They don't care. And we get ridiculed. We get talked about because we tell you go put on some clothes.
Right.
We get talked about, and we are the cult, and we're the evil ones. We're the bad guys. We all of this because we say, hey, only your man should be able to see your naked body.
Right.
But you talk about us and say we are wrong for that because we don't want everybody to see what you're working with.
Kind.
But we're the bad guys. Okay, I'll take that. You understand? But this is something that we definitely would not be allowing our sisters to go and do.
Damn right.
Here's a video real quick.
Yeah, she look good too. She look good too.
Oh, yeah.
Alexa, go to my order.
Okay.
Alexa, show me trophy cases.
Next stop, NASA. Find an Alexa on the Amazon app.
Okay, here go the video. Hey, I thought we would.
Of these
They
DeWalt
got all
samples,
commercials.
just fill out
Right.
our quick 2-minute survey and we'll ship it right to your door.
Okay, here we go. I think this is it. Let's see. Good damn.
Super Mac.
Shit.
Vote Senator Mack.
Vote Senator Mack. That's what she said. Look.
Super Mac.
Vote Senator Mack. There's a song, I forgot exactly how it went, but it says something like, head down,
Yes, sir.
monkey,
Popping on the handstand. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, so I'm not the only one that's familiar with
Got
this
it, got it,
song,
sir.
okay?
Got it,
Hold on
sir.
one second, let me stop
Shapes
this.
and sizes.
Let me turn this
Click
off.
below this video to check if we're looking for homes in your zip code. It's totally free to check.
Hold on.
Unlike ugly traditional metal roofs that make your home look like a barn. Oink oink! Our designer metal roofs come in numerous colors and have the look of high-end roofing materials, like artisan Spanish tile and handcrafted wood shake. But they're resistant to extreme weather, backed by a lifetime
It's
warranty,
like it
and they can be installed
hit
in
the,
as little as
I
one
was
day
say-
I just
by
cleared
our
it up.
Kinda.
expert.
I just had
Kinda
to
does,
clear
sir.
it. Yeah, it just kept on.
Kind, sir. Yes, sir. But yes, sir.
the song,
Ludacris, sir.
you
Ludacris, sir.
know the
Yes, sir.
song, okay?
Kind, sir.
Head down, your vagina popping on her hands.
Yeah.
And this is what the senator is doing.
Kind.
And she said, vote for me. Now why do you have to show me your body to get the vote? So you willing to do anything for a vote?
Kind.
You willing to give me some of that?
Oh, kind.
I
Yeah.
know I can get some.
Kind.
I know I can get some. You
Kind.
got it out there. you head down, vagina popping on the handstand.
Kind sir.
So why can't I get some of that? Why wouldn't that be the next thought in a man's mind? To where you see, hey, you got it all hanging upside down and out.
Yes, sir.
You know?
Yes, sir.
So why couldn't I? And like I said, it's a shame, you know, and this is why they use our sisters in this fashion. You understand? To turn around, make complete fools out of themselves. This is not the way that our sisters are supposed to be. Number one, dressing. You understand? You're supposed to be completely out in a two-piece. You understand? There's some there's much more modest swimwear where you can enjoy yourself. It won't be hot. It'll be good and wet from the water. You understand? You can enjoy the beach or the pool or something like that. You know, no sweat. But to turn around and have to pop it for a real nigga, you know what I'm saying? In order to get a vote, like, come on, the ball. You know what I mean? And they encourage this kind of behavior. Not only allow it, they encourage it. They push the black woman to do foolishness like this. They had the other senators like, okay, Corey Bush, that Corey Bush that was twerking?
Probably.
Tashara, no, it was Tashara Green, what's her last name?
Salaki, I don't know about
whatever her name is.
yeah.
One her in St. Louis, she was twerking at several events. Like, why the hell is a discussion topic about
that makes sense
about something that involves twerking?
Well,
like, go ahead.
I was about to say, yeah, you probably couldn't get that one. The sister that was just twerking, because of course she's a lesbian.
Oh, Tashara?
No, the video you just played.
Oh, the one on
Kind of the kind.
Oh, yeah.
And they can just do it. In that whole philosophy, kind of the kind. They can do whatever they want to do. They walk down the street in parades in thong bikinis. It's supposed to be respected for that.
Right.
Like that's the mentality.
Oh, they even did a march completely naked downtown. Remember
Oh, kind of kind.
Remember that?
Kind of kind.
Completely naked. I think. Was it only periods or something? Did they have that? Or was it a separate one?
I don't remember where it was.
It was two of them.
Kind of kind.
One where it was like only a period, and then they did one where it was completely naked. Yeah, no lie, they did it. Yeah, they did it. So I mean, damn, you know. So that explains why you're head down, vagina popping on a handstand. It makes perfectly good sense.
That's Salakia, sir. But this is exactly why, you know, people think that we're just so hard on so-called gays and lesbians because we just, I don't know what they think, what reason they think that we're hard on them. But it's because it leads to the deterioration of your people. This person who's supposed to be a role model, she's a black woman who's a state senator. That's supposed to be a role model. Is gay and upside down, twerking on the beach in the thong. This is why we fight against that.
Exactly.
You can't have listen. You can't be taken seriously by anybody doing things like that. You just can't.
Right. Like, who's going to take you serious?
Nobody.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. You're not supposed to be a lesbian. First.
Right.
Then you're not supposed to be, like, I mean, that's for your man.
God.
I'm sure he would love to see you do that trick.
God of God. God of God.
Like, hey, get as many flirty girl fitness poles in your house as you want.
Yeah, I'm right.
Right? But you're not supposed to be, you know, dressing like a whore or acting like one too.
Damn right.
Just to get some attention. You know what I'm saying? Just to get the votes of the people. You know? And of course, I'm sure them gays and them lesbians really thought that was like the thing to do. I'm sure they all behind you.
Kind of Salaki, I believe they thought that was empowering.
I'm sure they thought that was empowering.
That's exactly what they say about all that all that horse shit.
And you know something else? It trickled right on down to the rest of the dumbass people.
Kind of, sir.
I was in a room on Clubhouse where this sister said exactly what you said. You understand? She shows that the Lord is with you. She turned around and she said that is, she said, for people to say that white people look at us negatively because of the things that we do, right? Because of us twerking and all this nonsense. She said, what that is doing, that is us taking our power back. She said that is empowering. And she was asked, like, how? How would that be empowering? Like, you're twerking. Like, you look like a stripper on a beach. Like, that's how you look like. You know? And she turned around and was like, well, see, they say, look at us, look at what they're doing as a negative thing. But we're taking our culture and all this nonsense, foolishness. She said, it didn't even make sense. You understand? That's not, that's twerking is just not Israelite culture. Not, you know what I'm saying? It's not. You know, that's a dance, you know, and that's one that should not be on like thousands of cameras on Facebook, on TikTok, you know what I'm saying, on Instagram. It should not. I should not be able to go on. First thing I see, I can pull up Facebook on my phone right now, and it will be booty, 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 booty rocking everywhere.
Okay.
All of the sisters, and not the sisters that I should kill. I'm saying sisters.
Damn right.
Black
Damn
Israelite
right.
women. But all of those sisters that's in the world twerking, the big old things everywhere. You understand? What it says, she got a lot of junk in her trunk.
Got a gun.
And she walking around with her trunk open. You know what I'm saying? Wherever the hell she go. And I have to show everybody. So I can pull it up on Instagram.
Yeah.
I pull it up on TikTok. Nothing but twerking going on. Okay? Nothing but twerking. Nothing but ass everywhere.
Got a gun.
You understand? There's so many songs about that I'm thinking about.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about don't. You understand?
God.
Talking about it. I bet 100 songs came to mind just in fact. You know? Well, guess what? There's nothing wrong with the black woman body. We love it. You understand? We love it. But that's supposed to be enjoyed by your husband.
Damn right.
You understand? And I'm sure if she had a man, which you know she got a woman man, she got a woman king as a man.
Well, Salaki. Okay, so she is what is referred to as queer. She's not a lesbian,
She just,
but she's queer.
and do several.
Like that's like the more modern term for bisexual
Right.
and non-gender conformative. So basically she like to have a short haircut, like a dude's haircut, and she like to be with dudes and women. It just depends on the day, and she just with whoever she want to be with. Like that's just what it is. And this is what it leads to, right? This is what it allows. You can do whatever you want to do, and it doesn't matter what other people think of you, and that is stupid. Like, see, this whole twerking and being gays and lesbians, this is not our culture, right? Hip hop, we love it. It's not our culture, because guess what culture isn't? Something that you create in slavery.
Right.
Free people create culture.
Right.
As long as we've been in America, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans do not have a culture.
Right.
Hip-hop, reggae, that is not your culture. That is something you developed in slavery. Your culture is in this Bible, and that's what we need to get back to. We always talk about for the culture. That's not for the culture. If you're not doing it as thus saith the Most High God, it's not for the culture. Period. Because everything you've done has been what you've created since you've been in chains.
Yeah, and if you're not doing it according to the culture, then it's not for the culture.
Right.
You understand? Barbecuing and popping fireworks on the 4th of July is not for our culture.
Damn right.
Like you said, just rap music alone, hip hop alone, it's not even our music.
God.
They switched it. When we were talking about the things that we was suffering and going through and was using it as a means of release, you know what I mean? And that was part of the culture.
Okay.
Right? Because King David made songs about what he was going through.
Okay.
You understand? And how people was trying to get at him. And he was praying to the Most High to kill his enemies and things like that.
Okay.
You know, and made a song about it. You know, But this stuff about selling cocaine, I got bricks stacked over here. I got from Noriega and the Italians and the Russians and all this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's not our culture, man. You're trying to make that a part of our culture.
Right.
I know every movie that comes on TV with us in it, we're criminals. But that's not our culture.
Sir. And Salakia. But like you said, we up here talking about bricks and cocaine and don't realize the pioneers of that field were speaking about, well, Moses was black and Abraham is black, and they told me something different. Why is that?
Right.
Oh, but we went from that to whoring out our women and flipping bricks. And somehow that's the same thing. No.
My girl got a girlfriend.
God, that's,
you know what I mean?
like we don't even, and they showed it to you in the movie Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah.
Where that Edomite came in and took over and was making all of those changes, and you still don't see it. You still think hip hop is black culture. Like you see this white rapper up here, and you get mad at him. His daddy the one who produced the albums. His daddy the one that ships those albums and distributes. So how are you talking about your culture when I'm the one who makes it?
Exactly. That's crazy. That's an excellent point. And you can even go back further than that when the movie was Cadillac Records.
God.
They did the same thing.
God.
The white man, what he goes to do, he taking over the music and making all the money, you understand, and giving niggas Cadillacs.
God.
You know, the one had to beg for a goddamn money. One he had to beg for a house.
God.
He had to beg the white man for a place to live.
God.
I don't need a Cadillac. I need a house, man. I don't have all these damn kids. You understand?
Right.
That's what he was going to say. That's not our culture, man. They didn't took over, and then, you know, like you said, come and say, hey man, start talking about this kind of stuff. You know, this is what people want to hear. And then because the people want to hear that, because guess what? Ice Cube had even said himself that in an interview that he did, he said that he wasn't doing any of that stuff that he rapped about.
God.
He said it out of his own mouth. He said that I was into doing things more constructive than destructive. That's what he said. Ice Cube said that himself. You can find that interview. You understand? You can find this was like a little documentary of him, something like Where Are They or something like that. I can't remember which one it was. But he said that himself. He said he was doing things constructive, not destructive. He wasn't going around selling dope. He wasn't going around killing people. My man was.
Which one you talking about?
Easy.
God. Oh, Q? Yeah. God.
Came from the gutter. You understand? Easy E, hey, he felt like he had to do what he had to do. He was the only one who was actually doing it. But everybody else was not.
God, sir.
And they took what this man had said he was going to do and said, you know what, we're going to glorify. We selling all the dope, shooting each other. We're going to take that, we're going to elevate that.
God.
You know what I'm saying? We don't worry about how you got in that position. Let's just go at that.
God, sir.
Let's just go straight to the shooting and the guns. Make sure you put plenty of pistols pointing at people on the video. Make sure you talk about it on the song, about how you got killed and popping the video, all that. Yeah, that's what the white man wants to see.
God,
That's
sir.
what he wants to hear. Stuff that's destructive for our people, not constructive.
Right.
You understand?
Okay, sir. But Ice-T said the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ice-T was like, look, he said I was more into like junior pimping, like, you know what I mean? I had girls get stuff for me and stuff like that. He said I wasn't ever in the streets. He said I sang the songs of the people of the streets, but I didn't do any of those things.
Right.
Like these rappers people look up to, they not really doing this stuff. And the ones who are, you see where they are, in jail. They in there for life. They in there for 16, 17 years. They in there for so long, they ain't never gonna make no more money. Like, this is what happens when they actually doing this stuff. You thought you thought Tupac was actually out here in the streets shooting up people, doing all this gangster stuff. Tupac was an art school student. Like, that's an art school kid. He was in plays and in musicals, and he did drama. Tupac sang the songs of people around him, not the life he was living. Right? And we look up to these people and think that the image that they're showing us is actually them. It's not. It's not. Now Snoop, that nigga actually did this. that nigga actually did this shit. But
you get a couple of them here and there
right.
in the streets. Like if I'm not mistaken, I think what's his name, Clyde? I think he's
Kai.
his brother or somebody he knows.
Kai, yeah.
He rap about.
Kai.
Him.
Right.
Somebody else that actually
Exactly.
that he know.
Kai.
Locked up, like you said.
Kai.
He's locked up for running drugs and doing all this stuff. You understand?
Salakia, sir. These are poets.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here. Rappers are poets.
Mm-hmm.
You think poets is really out there on the block selling rocks? They not. Like you said, you get a couple. DMX, that nigga was real.
Yeah.
Like, but you see how he died, addicted to the same drugs he was selling, because that's what happens when you sell drugs.
Yeah.
It gets on your hands, gets in your fingers. When you're cooking it, gets in your lungs. You become a crackhead.
Yeah.
You become a meth head because you're actually doing those things. But these rappers out here, they not doing nothing. They got so mad at what's the get the big dude. Tekashi 6ix9ine because he is snitch. All of them niggas is snitches. All of them is snitches, and he became a member of the gang right before he became a rapper because it would boost his rap cred. Yeah. He wasn't actually in the streets. Right. He wasn't actually a drug dealer. He's soft as cotton.
Right. You can tell he's
like he did not come up in the streets. Right. He got protection because he was about to make millions, and then they started leaning on him because the people he got protection from was dirty. So of course he flips. He ain't got no ties to them. Y'all supposed to protect me, and y'all got me in trouble? Nope. All of y'all going to jail. Everyone. And so that's what I'm saying. These rappers are not who people make them out. Who our people make them out to be. They are plants from our oppressor. Our oppressor decides what you hear. They own the radio stations. They own the record labels. If they don't want you to hear it, then it doesn't come on the radio, and it doesn't get produced. It doesn't get sent out. You never hear it unless you know a guy that knows a guy. Right? Other than that, you gonna hear what they want you to hear.
Absolutely, yeah. We gotta stop all that nonsense. Thinking that this cat, he on a song with Nick, long hair, don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's him.
Yeah.
You understand? That's him, not that gangster and fighting in airports and getting shot. Well, getting shot at, yeah.
Shot at.
But not shooting back. I ain't heard them fire back, not one shot. You know what I'm saying?
Live.
If somebody, look, I got the right. I got the gun.
Okay.
You understand? If somebody shoot at me, I'm going to shoot back at you to defend my life. I'm shooting back at you. You understand? And that ain't nothing that I'm trying to be hard about. I'm just defend me and my family, my brothers, my sisters' lives.
Right.
If you shooting at us, I'm going to shoot back. You understand?
And Salakia, to that point, sir, I heard Lil Wayne was talking about a story where he didn't start carrying a gun till he made his first couple million, and he was afraid of getting robbed at school.
Yep.
That's why he started carrying a gun. Yep. He wasn't on the block shooting nobody.
He wasn't.
He was. Listen. People think that Lil Wayne is this drugged out. Lil Wayne is smarter than you think. He told somebody, he did an interview and he said, listen, you think you know what's in my cup. What's in my cup is what I know is in my cup. You think it's drugs here. Shit here, it's Sprite. He was a straight A student. He had his degree in psychology before he turned 18.
Yeah.
Like, he understands the way the human mind works. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, he had a whole, arrhythmia thing that had nothing to do with the drugs he was singing about. Mm-hmm. He was singing about that stuff, promoting it to you because it made him money. Right. He wasn't doing that himself.
Right.
He wasn't actually killing himself.
Right.
He set you up to die.
Right, and that's what it actually sounds, looks like.
God.
You understand?
God.
What it's all about is the paper.
Kind of the kind, sir.
That's what it's about. He don't care nothing about nothing else but that money that he's trying to make.
Kind of God.
That's it. And people gotta, get off these celebrities as if they're really something to uphold.
Right.
High, when look at the things that they do and say. You understand? Like they're not people that I would ever look up to. Do I like their music? Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand? I love hip hop, rap, gangster rap, drill.
Kind of good, sir.
You know what I'm saying? The sisters rap songs. I like some of theirs. You know what I'm saying? Some of them. That F-R-E-E. I ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Salaki actually like the dude's remix to that.
The dude remix, man. They can't. They came up. And they do that on every song. Like what was this song back in the day?
Salaki.
That's just my baby daddy. Somebody made a song that's just my baby mama. You understand?
No scrubs, no pigeons.
No scrubs, no pigeons. Look, we've been going at each other's throats for too long. It's time for it to stop. You understand?
Even
Beyonce. No more scrubs, no more pigeons amongst our people. No more baby mamas, baby daddy. That song blew up. You know what I'm saying? That's just my baby daddy. You know what I mean? Everybody was singing that song, and then the men came back with that just my baby mom. I used to hear that everywhere I went. You understand? But we're gonna have to stop the things that are dividing us. You understand? And actually come together as brothers and sisters and husbands and wives. You baby daddies, baby mamas. Y'all be arguing and fighting like crazy too. And it has to come to an end.
It's like it. You know that. So that song "To the Left" from Beyonce, right? It was also a song called "To the Right" by Neo, right? He wrote both of the songs at the same time. As producers, they're taught to create conflict in our community. He wrote "Kick That Nigga Out" and "Kick That Bitch Out" at the same time. It's the same writer to the both songs. And they do that because that is what drives up money, and that's what our oppressor wants.
And that's a shame that that's what we like and what we love so much to where we do it. We turn around and start putting our men out the house, start putting our women out the house. We end up doing what's in the song.
Sir.
And that's who that stuff is meant to destroy. Them rappers ain't even doing that.
Right.
You didn't see Beyonce kick Jay-Z out?
Hell no.
All the rumors of him messing with Rihanna and all these other women and all this other stuff that he may have going on, she didn't left his ass. She didn't tell him to the left. Everything you own in that box to the left.
Salakia, Becky with the good hair ain't stopped nothing.
You know what I'm saying? None of that. So like I said, these celebrities, they talk that nonsense, they sing the song, but they ain't doing that mess.
Right.
We need to, like I said, stop putting them on this pedestal like they so high and mighty. You know what I mean? As if they are the greatest ever. You understand? And they could be. You understand? You could have your money, sing your songs, and be the truth at the same time.
Right.
Without all the drama and nonsense and all the other stuff that you take place. You understand? That is ridiculous. Sorry, boy. That'd be 2 water boat shots. And then I sent
about the 220? About the 220 people?
To who?
The article.
Yeah, I sent them all. You get them?
I just got the one about the 220 people. I'll check.
Wait a minute. No. I sent the whole thing on how we're going to lay it out. Check it. Yeah, you should have the other email. You should have those. But check the email I sent you.
But yeah.
Cause I know you had to find them. That's why I put them all. Cause I actually see those stories. That happened before the 4th. You understand?
Before the
4th. You got it.
Come
on with the water. Come on with the water. Like, if you can't see, if you can't look up the history of the 4th of July, what was it, 1776? 76? Of how this freedom even came about. It wasn't even about your freedom. You understand? It wasn't even about blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians' freedom. We were still slaves at the time. You got 1776, and then 1856. What year was that we got?
I think it was 1850. Was it?
On the Juneteenth?
1865.
65. There we go. Okay. So we got 76 when so-called freedom supposed to happen for all. And then you got us celebrating so-called freedom for us on Juneteenth in 1865. Now, somebody do the math and get my mind right, because somebody wrong somewhere. Come on with it, boy.
And Salakia, 4th of July is made up anyway. They started signing, they declared independence and started signing the Declaration of Independence on the 2nd of July. Mm-hmm. The final signatures weren't on there until the 6th of July. The 4th of July is like, well, we're just going to go with the 4th.
Right.
That's made up too.
That's all made up.
Like that, it wasn't like on that day they didn't declare anything on that day. It had already been declared, and it wasn't finished on that day. It was finished later. Like it's all made up. You are celebrating. You're not celebrating an event.
Yeah.
You're celebrating what your oppressor tells you to celebrate.
Exactly.
That's it. That's it. That's all.
Exactly. And then, like I said, everybody wasn't on the front line of their freedom. The slaves, you was on the front line of the battle.
Right. Damn right you were.
You was on that front line.
Sir.
But you weren't on the front line of freedom itself.
Right.
You understand? They turned around after they started killing most of the brothers that was in that fight.
Oh, kind of.
Helping them get their freedom.
Oh, kind of.
Turn around the men that helped you get your freedom, because they were slaves, you murdered them.
Right.
You say that they didn't make it.
God.
You understand? They didn't make it. Ain't no way they gonna actually put the slave up there with the master and say that the slave is the reason for all of this taking place.
Right.
They all died. God. In the war. We survived that.
Kind of.
When in the movie they actually showed what the movie Denzel was
Glory.
Glory. That's it. I'm sorry. Yeah. They killed him in the end. You understand? They showed it in the movie how they killed them at the end of the war.
Yeah.
You understand? So like I don't understand why it's such a mystery. It's public information. Everybody can look that up.
God.
Everybody can watch that movie Glory. I remember seeing it way before I even came into the truth. What's that, like a 10, 12-year-old movie? Maybe more?
Now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's got to be 20 years old.
20? Yeah, it might be. I know it was a long time ago. So before I even came into the truth, I only been here a few short years. I'm a young man. You understand? And I saw that movie way back and knew that. You know? So like I said, you can look this information up too. You understand? And this is not freedom for us. And these articles that we're gonna read, we're gonna show you how it's just not free. And you're celebrating slavery. That's what you celebrate. Because the people who are actually free still have you in captivity. Still have their foot on your neck. Still can murder you walking down the street, walking across the street, right? Pull you over in your car, say you got a gun, end up going home. You know, it never amazes me. That story, and I always draw to this one, the one here right in St. Louis. The brother Anthony Lamar Smith that got murdered by his devil powers. The things, all of the circumstances and the evidence surrounding that case, like, was ridiculous. This cop used his own personal weapon. You understand? Do you know why so many cases are what they call unsolved mysteries? Yeah, murders of our people that just we can't solve. It's because of things like that. It's who is going to check this cop's house, let alone his weapon? You understand? He's a cop. But he killed this brother with his own personal weapon, which is against the law. For a cop, they issue you a weapon. Right. They give you whatever weapons you want, they give them to you. You got them in your car, you got them on your side, you got them in your bag. You understand? All that. And those you use to turn around and so-called fight crime. Yeah. But you got your personal pistol with you, an AK-47 with that. He shot his brother in the face with an AK-47. Yes, sir. So he murders his brother with that gun. Then you see him going to the trunk and grabbing another gun, put it on him. They found, he claimed that he saw a drug deal going bad. They found no drugs. He claimed that he had a gun on him. The gun they found did not have none of his DNA, no fingerprints, no hair follicles, None of the fiber from his clothes, nothing.
Okay.
Found nothing on this gun, on this gun.
Okay.
He turned around and found out that he had a history of harassing his brother every time he saw him.
Mm-hmm.
He told him he was going to get him one day. And he took his opportunity. He got him. That day. He got that brother that day. Brother was running from this murder. That's what he was running from. You understand? He wasn't just running because he was just a criminal. He had all these drugs, this dope on him. He was running because he knew that murder, that bastard was going to murder him. He knew that so-called cop, he ain't even a cop. He's a murderer. You understand?
Right.
He knew that this dude was going to kill him. Like what he said, he promised he was going to kill him. And so that's why he was running. So when he caught him, he turned around and shot him in his face. The judge asked him, why did you have your own gun with you? He said, well, Your Honor, you don't understand what we're up against out here in these streets. So I felt like I needed it. What about what that brother was up against while he was out in the street? Doing whatever he was doing, going wherever he was going. He get stopped by this cat.
Okay.
And they didn't find no guns and no drugs, or what illegal activity was he doing? You gave nothing other than that. You understand? But you saw drugs and you saw guns.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay.
And then you find neither one on him. A gun, they found a gun, I think he put it like on the floor of the car.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or the seat. That's where they found it at. And like I said, they didn't have his prints on it at all. So I think about this kind of stuff when it comes to freedom. You understand? Like, our brothers and sisters are not free out here.
Hell no.
You're not free to walk and ride and do whatever the hell it is you want to do in your day. That's why they have shirts out there saying, I have a black son.
God.
You got so many sisters that are praying that their sons come home.
God.
They're sitting by the door. They was doing it back in the day, and they still doing it today.
God.
They sit by the damn door, waiting on the son to come home. And you think we free for something already? Come on.
And Salaki, I just wanted to say this part real quick. This is this cat named James Armstead Lafayette, right? James Armstead Lafayette is the entire reason that this is America and not Britain West. He was a so-called black man. He convinced the entire British army that the American army was in a different place. So when they landed, they got surrounded by the French Armada and forced to sign the treaty that created so-called America's freedom from Britain. Had he not done what he did, this country would be a part of that country.
Right. And
they owe their entire
military, right?
Huh?
He was a part of the
Count of God. He was one of George Washington's aides. Had that so-called black man not done what he did, they would still be a part of England, but his people still had to be in chains afterwards.
Right.
It's a black. The entire America's freedom is completely owed to a black man, but we are still treated this way today. That's why there's nothing we can do here that will make our oppressor love us. We've been tried since forever. We gave them their freedom.
Right. Right. That certainly deserves a fair shake.
They owed us. They owe us their freedom.
Exactly.
They were outnumbered, outmanned, outgunned. Their strategies were they had better generals over there than we had over here.
Right.
And the only way that they lost as a superpower was because they were tricked by this man, James Armstead Lafayette, a so-called black man who tricked and the world's greatest superpower and made them fall in defeat when they weren't losing to anybody else. But then his people still in chains. His people still ain't free. And we want to go celebrate 4th of July. And all you celebrating is our sacrifice for them to keep us in oppression. That's all you sacrifice. That's all you celebrating. Because that's what we did on the 4th of July. We sacrificed. We did everything that they wanted us to do. And we stayed under their oppression. You are a second-class citizen in a society where you're not the first class, and we will never be first class here.
Never.
That's just the long and short of it. There's no equality. It's always first, second, third. There's order to things in life. They are the first class citizens here. They are the first class citizens in their society.
Famous Abe said that.
Kinda.
Famous Abe, the one you give credit to, so-called freeing us, said, in this society there must be two classes.
Kind.
There must be one superior and one inferior.
Kinda.
And he said that I'm in favor of the white race being the superior class and the black race being the inferior.
Kinda.
That's why he freed you. So-called
Right.
freed you. That's why so-called freed you.
Right.
We know we ain't free.
Kinda.
You understand? He said, hey, you ain't shit to me. That'll be free.
Right.
They're inferior.
Right.
And we're 3/5 of a man in their constitution.
Kinda.
You understand? We're subhumans. We're not even real people in there.
Right.
You understand? So,
Right.
what do I care that, so-called people that ain't even people to me, that ain't even free to me, that don't mean I'm not even a whole man or a whole woman.
Kinda.
What do I care about?
Kinda.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing.
And Salakia, had they been smart, the plantation owners wouldn't have even had a civil war. The South wouldn't even have this. Wait, so you said that they can't be slaves unless they committed a crime. Well, I just said they all committed a crime and put them on my plantation.
Absolutely.
Oh, wait, that's what you're doing now in jails? That's exactly what you're doing now.
Hey, they was doing it back then. They was making up paperwork saying, look, I own you. I'm the owner of you. I get to do whatever I want to do with you. So, if they were smart, they wouldn't even have to fight each other.
But that's how stupid our oppressor is.
Really?
They don't even understand their own words.
They don't. They really don't. You understand? And they don't even understand their own evil past. That's why they try to switch it up and change it. Because they don't want to look and appear to be so
God.
You understand? When it comes to dealing with us, they're trying to change the narrative and say instead of us being forced over here, being sold by those Africans to the white man, they say, "Oh no, he migrated. We're looking for a better job."
God.
You know.
God.
So instead of us working at McDonald's, we're trying to get a job at McDonald's. You understand? Like, you understand? Like, who would they think stupid?
God.
So after all these years, you gonna change on this? Like,
God.
this shows that you are the devil.
Right.
Who else could it be? Who else would lie? And I mean, hell, you're the greatest, most scariest beast on the planet. Nobody wants to deal with you.
God.
Everybody's scared of you except for us.
Right.
You understand? Except for us in the ISU. Okay. Commander and Honey raised no power.
Damn right.
Scared of no damn white people here. For what? You understand? We fear the Lord and the Lord only in here.
Damn right.
But everybody's scared of you. Nobody wants to fight you. Hell, niggas know they can beat you up and don't even want to put their hands on you.
God.
Terry Crews, one of the swollest, toughest, buffest niggas out there, let a white man jiggle and play with his balls and his penis in front of his wife. And then he said, well, just think of the news story. It would have been big black guy, fascist, little white. That's what it should have said.
God.
You wiggle and jiggle and play with my balls, I'm killing you.
Right.
You understand? Ain't no way that you gonna touch me like that, and the headline don't say that I'm locked up in my house.
God.
I got it. It's just something that you should, for your manhood, for your masculinity, that you should be willing to do whatever it takes to keep it. You understand? You should. Like, no man could violate me in such a way, and then I'm just gonna get on a interview and say, well, you know, what would the news say about this? They need to say what I'm gonna say. Let me speak. While they locking me up, come over. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm gonna tell you from the car, the man shouldn't have wiggled and jiggled and played with my goddamn balls and my penis. Yeah, that's what he should not have done. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what made him think that he could do that to me, but he learned today. You understand? That's what it should have said. What? Because we in America. Because we slaves. The warriors of our people. You understand? The people that most brothers are scared to even approach because he's spoke. You know what I'm saying? Scared to even approach this man, but then here you go, let a little scrawny little white boy do it too. And you should have cracked his face. You understand? Nobody has the right to turn around and violate you like that and touch you like that. You have every right. And guess what? He wouldn't have went to jail. He would not even went to jail. You understand? You're defending yourself. You're protecting yourself. Somebody do that to anybody. You understand? You got the right to turn around and defend yourself out of the seat. You understand? If a woman, some man is trying to force her to do something she don't want to do, and she has a weapon of some sort, use it. You understand? Defending yourself. You don't have to sit there and take whatever somebody's trying to do to you. You understand? Defend your life, your body, your right to be left the hell alone. Because nobody should be violating you in that matter. You understand? But because of him being such a murderer, nobody, niggas don't even want to defend themselves. Hands up, don't shoot. That's what they do. That dying that they did out of Clayton, that is ridiculous, huh? Everybody, I saw the article, saw the pictures. They had little babies out there.
Right.
3-year-old babies.
Right.
With white t-shirts on, with the names of their dead relatives on it and hands on it, talking about blood all over your hand. Like, that was ridiculous. And they laying in the middle of the street like they dead, huh? That's sad to see my people do. You so weak. You such cowards. You can beat down the powder so bad to where you will go and lay in the middle of the street and play like you dead. With a t-shirt on? Talking about blood all over your hands?
Sir.
Who does that weak mess and they think they make a mistake other than Christian people?
Nobody else, sir.
Nobody else would even dare do that.
Sir.
China ain't never did it. China went and got guns. That's what China did. Them Arabs, you know they ain't ever released that. In the name of Akbar, boom, everybody. You understand? Everybody. They don't play. Them damn stinky Africans, guess what? They don't play that either.
Right.
You ain't gonna do them like that.
Right.
Ain't nobody on the earth going to allow themselves to be treated like we did.
Sir.
Nobody. You know, come on.
It's like it, sir. That is because we as a people value our lives too much. Right? We value our life over our honor.
Right.
We value our life over our self-respect. Listen, if you try to fondle me in front of, period. You try to fondle me, period. It's going to be a problem. If you try to fondle me in front of my wife, what you are doing is telling not only myself, but my wife, no, this is a little boy you married. This is a child. This is not a man. Listen, my honor is worth too much. My self-respect is too great for me to allow myself to live and you live at the same time. Somebody got to go at that moment. That's just how it is. And we as a people, we have been so used to being servants and slaves that we don't value ourselves in the way, like you just said, in the way that these other nations do. A Hamite, listen, a Hamite will murder everything around you and kidnap every child he sees. That's what they will do if they feel offended. Okay? As you said, one of them Arabs, listen, the whole block getting blown up. Everybody gonna die. You coming with me. Listen, and in those countries, they kill their own women if they dishonor their family. We don't know honor. We don't know it as a people. Everybody else, they know honor. They will die for honor. We'll die for a street that ain't got nothing to do with us. We'll die for a block.
They ain't got the whole person. And then wonder why, what is that? The block is hot. Wonder why it's so damn hot.
Okay.
Because the slaves are celebrating slavery.
All
we have to celebrate here is slavery.
Damn right.
We're not free at all. That's why the block is so hot.
Damn right, Cap.
That's why it's lit up the way that it is. That's why black people talk about all the money that they don't have. And then somehow, magically, come up with all of this money for some damn fireworks. You know what I'm saying? I talked to my cousin, And he turned around and said, man, hey, I'm getting all tired of celebrating the 4th of July. Because he said the fireworks was double the price. He said the fireworks was double the price. He said that the deals that they used to have, you know, like you get, like in a combo package, you get like fireworks, big bombs, it's Roman candles, it's, you get all those for a certain amount. He said, oh, no, none of that. He said what? He said well, none of that. He said it was just all dollar for dollar. That's what he said.
Yeah.
He said every firework was dollar for dollar.
Yeah.
You know, and it's crazy. You know, and here it is. You already don't have money for that mess, but you go all out, man.
God.
You go all. I'm still seeing the trash has been picked up, and I'm still seeing people cleaning up they firework trash and filling up trash cans again.
God.
With fireworks.
God. Sir. Oh, God.
The trash got picked up once, and then they already set the trash out filled with fireworks again. I'm seeing this as I'm driving around.
Sir. Tens of thousands of dollars. Tens of thousands of dollars. Sir.
That's what I'm talking about.
Sir.
That's ridiculous. And let's see what the dummies is doing now.
What's
that first order?
4 people killed in house explosion were making fireworks in garage as men who, quote, provided chemicals, end quote, face murder charge.
They first face murder charges, now. For you trying to manufacture your own fireworks. You know, it's just the Lord is not with you in that mess. And this is not like the only year that this has happened. It's not like it happened a couple of years. The ISUPK has been prophesying and speaking against our people celebrating this holiday. Who cares? Let the white man have his day. Let them celebrate and get drunk and eat and barbecue and let the bombs go blazing in the air, the fountains and those what's some big cats and the big rolls of firecrackers.
I don't know.
With the thousands of firecrackers on them. Yes, let them
Thank
have
you.
all the bottle rockets, the what's the other little things? The little snake things that blow up and smoke everywhere. Then the other one spin on the ground, and the little fire, the roll, and the light, and jump everywhere.
I ain't never bought it.
Yeah, it is what it is. You know what I'm talking about.
I seen the M80. Other than that, I don't know. Like, it's like niggas where I grew up, they was interested in blowing shit up. Like and like you said, like the title of the lesson is, like it's for violence, right? Like it's for the destructive purposes, right? It's not to celebrate freedom. You don't have freedom. You know you ain't free.
Right.
You know you're not free when you can't even walk to your own corner store without being harassed or even taken to jail just for walking to the store. Nothing on you, nothing. You're not free. So I mean, like I said, when I was a kid, my mom wasn't. She wasn't on buying fireworks. She's like, y'all blow yourself up. And then when I became an adult, I was fortunate enough to find the truth at a young enough age where I ain't never buy none of that stuff myself. And never celebrate this holiday. So like some of the fireworks they talk about, I have no idea. I've never purchased and or seen them. But the simple fact of the matter is, like you saying, Cap, like this death and destruction is the only result of this. People have been blowing their legs off, blowing their hands off, blowing their feet for forever, but we still doing this dumb stuff.
Absolutely. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. All week. When I was, I think about 5, 6, but I think it was the first time I was allowed to go on the lot with my older cousin. Like,
Got it.
At my grandmother's house, we would always celebrate that. There was a big, where they turned around and knocked down like 2-3 houses, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And we just called it a lot.
Got it.
And it was an empty lot, you know what I'm saying? Just nothing there, no more because the house was torn down.
Right.
So that's where they would pop all the fireworks in.
Got it.
And this year I was allowed to go over with my cousin, right? So I turned around and did this. I turned around, huddled up with my cousin, right? Ain't nobody told me what to do. Now, you know what I'm saying? I see him turn around, they huddled, they down, they looking. He done lit it, they done ran. I turned around, looking at them run, like, what they running for? You know what I'm saying? Then I turned around, looked around the thing, boom, that damn thing blew up right in my face. They told my family that I was going to be blind for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? I was going to be blind. I was supposed to never see again.
Okay.
You know I turned around. Once they took off, like I said, we all sitting down there huddled up over the fountain, right? Everybody got their heads together. We was so close to that. So then he lit it, all the cousins lit it, turned around, and then when they all ran, I'm looking to see what they're running for. I'm looking back at them. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, what y'all want?
Okay.
They turned around, look back, and boom, that thing blew up.
Okay.
Then, like I said, I'm sitting around the house looking like Steve Wonder. You know what I'm saying? For the longest. You know what I'm saying? So the guys came back in.
It's like it, sir.
I'll go with it.
But you know what I mean? That wasn't nothing but the Most High. Like you supposed to be dead. Let's be honest. People die for less. Especially at the age you was at. You supposed to be. The Most High knew what He had for you and who you was gonna be. So he spared you. But you better pray that the Most High, so-called black man, so-called black woman who out there, he got something for you, because you gonna blow yourself up too. Just as easy. Cause it's easy to do it, right? We go into things where death is not just a possibility; it's the likelihood. Okay, so you mean to tell me you're gonna have untrained professionals lighting explosives?
Yeah.
That you're asking for death. Like that is a deadly. What more deadly situation could it be? Children operating explosives. Like this is gunpowder refined. That's all it is in there. It's gunpowder. You have children with a lighter and gunpowder. Like you're supposed to die. Like that's you living is the anomaly, right? Death should be expected. Like I don't understand our people. The most obvious and simple thing on its face, we think like, oh yeah, no, that's fine. No, yeah, we of course we can sell drugs to our own mothers and not destroy our community. We gonna be rich after that. How? Like these are the obvious outcomes to our situation. Oh, of course we can celebrate our oppressor's holiday, and we can still be revolutionary and stand up. How? You celebrating white Jesus? You celebrating Santa Claus? You celebrating his independence? You celebrating Easter with bunnies pooping out eggs? Like, how are you going to stand against him when you love everything he's gave you? These are obvious things. And you don't see them because that Christian church keeps you blind. And has you doing these things. Has you celebrating the 4th of July. I'm telling you, every single church had a program or something dedicated to 4th of July. And they have it every year. Every so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American church has something dedicated to the celebration of the freedom of this nation while your people were still in chains. Everyone.
Right. And like you said, here it is, children are lighting explosives. We had so many blow up in your hand, in your face. Try to light it real quick, still sometimes go faster than usual. It ain't like you do on the movies, it's slow, burning, little, it's just based on the movie. Of course it goes nice and slow. You see it sizzle and crack pop until it blows there. Also, you like that the most something. You know what I'm saying? And then they blow them in your hand. And then we even find even more ways to be even more destructive with the nonsense. We turn around and used to have something called firework wars, right? Where Roman candles. And once they ran out of Roman candles, they would shoot the bottle like we bottle rockets at each other.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that was fun. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
that's ridiculous. You know, and we definitely gotta stop this nonsense right here. You know what I'm saying? We gotta turn around and stop celebrating these holidays. Stop trying to come up off your people and you know, bypass buying them, right? Because they so damn high now. You know what I'm saying? So they said, damn that. We're gonna go and we're gonna make our own. And read some of that article. Look at what happened due to you saying, you know what, I'm gonna turn around and make my own fireworks.
Okay.
We already see they killed 40 families.
Right.
40 family members. You know what I'm saying? They haven't killed themselves too, cool.
Okay. 2 men have been charged with murder after an explosion killed 4 people while they were allegedly assembling fireworks in a home's garage. Travell Eason, 16, Christopher Jones, 17, Demario Cooks, 18, and William Jones, 21, were all killed in an explosion in a house in St. Louis, Missouri on Friday around 1:20 a.m.
You see that? You know what I'm saying? 4 youngsters, man. They could have been doing something in life. Other than, I mean, put places in a box and put them around. All because you want to do the things that God told you not to do.
Okay.
When are you going to believe Commander Junior Honda ISUK?
Right.
Stop celebrating holidays. When are you going to finally kick in and say, you know what? I believe he was right because, you know, since 1969, the ISUPK have been speaking against these things and teaching our people that they are things that we should not be celebrating. Right? We've been doing this since 1969 and haven't taken a break yet. You see the brothers can't stop and won't stop. You know what I'm saying? The scripture says that we the prophets shall not be pushed into a corner anymore. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might be able to shut us up back in the past, but now you're not.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna keep on teaching you till then, till you either get right or just get wrong up.
Precept real quick.
Go ahead, Warren.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell we are in agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come to us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves.
Perfect.
Like this is this. You are trusting in this lie of your freedom. You ain't been free. You ain't free. Count of the kind. You trust. You made a cup. Our oppressor. That's the only thing they know is death. They know death and theft. They steal and the Bible said they steal, kill, and destroy. That's their culture. And we made a covenant with them. We've made a covenant with it. Look, allow us to be in your system. Please love us, Massa. That's what we keep doing. And our Christian church pushes this covenant. Our Christian church is how we affirm the covenant. That's why they don't like us leaving the Christian church, because that means, oh wait, they about to break that covenant. They don't want to be. They leaving the Christian church because they understand that we're leaving the Christian church because we see the influence our oppressor has over it. We see the lies and the deceit that we've been brought up in. And this is, man, it's like it. But this is, as you were saying what you were saying, I was like, that's because we made this covenant with death. We made an agreement. We are fine with hell. We fine with the ghetto. We love the ghetto. That's hell, and we love that. I know. It's like it. Back in my younger days, I was talking to a sister, and I was really feeling her and everything like that. And she grew up in the projects, right? She grew up in the hood. That was cool. She had a job. She was doing her thing. I was talking to her, and she was like, No. When I move out with my dad, I plan on moving in around the corner. I was like, in the projects? She's like, yeah. She was like, I don't ever want to leave here. You don't ever want to leave the situation your oppressor put you in. You love hell. They love, we as a people love it. And this is us all day, all night. And we make lies our refuge. We listen, we love to cling to a lie. We will hold on a lie and will attack anybody who comes against that lie. That's why child molestation is so prevalent in our community. Uncle Ricky didn't touch you, but he done touched every other girl in the family. He said the same thing. When y'all gonna realize he? Nah, they brushed that off, push that to the side, right? Your pastor lied. And this what the Bible said. Well, not my pastor. No. This is well, we gonna have to agree to disagree, right? When anybody tells you we gonna have to agree to disagree, it's because they know they wrong and they don't want to talk about it no more. And that is the Christian's favorite line. We got to agree to disagree. That's because you're lying. That's because you love those lies and you take comfort in those lies. Those lies are your refuge, right? And you hid yourself under falsehood. The Christian church being the house of God is the biggest falsehood that has ever been invented in the world. Like that is you do everything that the Most High God says not to do, but you the house of God. And that is what even the so-called atheists in our community is Christians. Because they'll be right. Look, they'll say they're atheists. I guarantee you, Christmas, Mother's Day, and Easter, I can tell you where they at. They right there in that church celebrating them holidays that their oppressor told them to celebrate.
You already know. And I would never agree to something that I disagree with.
God.
Just man, just soul it. Just won't allow me to do it. I can't agree with you if I disagree with you.
God.
Simple as that. You know, and like you said, those preachers, they fingers lying.
Oh, God.
When they know they're wrong and they cannot continue to push that lie, they'll just try to drop it. Say that. You know, they'll say, oh, this is agree to disagree. And that sounds weak to me.
God.
Agreeing to disagree.
God, sir.
And one thing that we can agree on is that there's so much going on. I read the next one. This happened right here in St. Louis where this house blew up at. There was 4 young brothers lost their damn life because they was trying to manufacture some firearms.
God, sir.
Like you said, Cabal, here it is. You got children trying to work with and deal with bombs. You know what I'm saying?
God. Kind of the concert.
Like, I mean, it's not C4, but how many times have the fireworks from the professionals blown up when they was trying to do I think it happened here, if I'm not mistaken. It happened here several times where they was about to set the fireworks off downtown and it just started blowing up any damn way.
Salakia, sir.
I think because of the heat.
Salakia, sir. C4 is more stable. You can cook C4.
Mm-hmm.
You can put C4 over an open flame and it'll be perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is gunpowder. This is more volatile.
Right.
Like this is like C4. Yeah, it makes a big boom, but you have to have a specific type of electrical charge to set off C4.
Right.
To this,
Right.
bro, the static in your clothes can make this blow.
Yeah.
Like this is stuff professional. Listen. So okay, a lot of people don't know this, but I got I did go to school and get a continued education in gunsmithing, right? So black powder, gunpowder, things like that. I've actually studied and tested on, right? So they are trying to, in the industry, move away from these chemicals because of how volatile they are for professionals, right? They even have more synthetic powders that are used in modern firearms because of the volatility of what is used in older firearms and firework. It's the same powder used in both, right? So they're moving away from this stuff because as an industry, they realize this is too dangerous for us trained professionals. And you got a 16, 17, 18, and 21-year-old in there trying to create fireworks from these raw materials. It is... I can... Normally, when somebody supplies things to people, I always wonder, why do they charge them with the murder or them with the death? In this case, there's no question to it. There is no other expected result. When you give them this, when you can't give a 16-year-old bread and not expect something horrible to go wrong. You give a 16-year-old a bottle of water, and I guarantee you every plug in your house will be shorted. Like, there's something that's going to happen. But you gave them explosives.
And I'm putting a picture on the screen of the aftermath of the explosion. This is ridiculous.
This is why every black, Hispanic, and Native American needs to be in the ISUPK. They need to be in the IS, but to save your life, you need to be in here. All 6 of these brothers, the 4 that died and the 2 that supplied them, had they been in the school, none of them would have died. Nobody would be going to jail. This would not happen. They're all Christians, though. Every one of them is in a Christian church. And this is what Christianity leads to. Because in here, they would have learned, you don't do that. You don't. Why are you celebrating their holidays? These are, and I'm going to say it the way it's said biblically, these are holy days. These are their high holy days. You are celebrating another God. Because that's what this is. A holiday is a modern term for a holy day. Whenever you see holiday, that's a holy day. So if you're going to celebrate that holy day, understand what God you're serving. You're not serving the God of the Bible. Unless it's the Passover. Unless it's Purim. Unless it's Tabernacles, Atonement. Right? When you start celebrating these other holy days, you're celebrating other gods. Period. Period, point blank. You want me to go ahead and read a little bit more? Sir. The explosion destroyed the house, including the garage that the victims were in, with the debris flying into neighboring homes. Authorities had previously said that the blast was caused when an adult had been showing the teens how to load the canister and attach a fuse, according to the Post-Dispatch. A 12-year-old child was also injured, but it is not clear what condition they are in, according to the outlet. Police have now arrested 2 men over the explosion, alleging that they provided the explosive powder that the 4 victims were using. Terrell Cooks, 37, and Seneca Mahan, 43, have been charged with 3 counts of second-degree murder and 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child and 2 counts of unlawful possession of an illegal weapon, according to the charging documents. And Salakia, sir. Oh, you got it. And Salakia, sir, I just want to point something out. That 37-year-old, was it Terrell? Yeah, Terrell Cooks, right? Is apparently related to trying to get to this part of the article. Salakia. Right, yeah, Terrell Cooks. Right, DeMario Cooks, the 18-year-old. It seems like they are related. Like I think that might be the 18-year-old might have been his son. Right, and this whole story is tragic, and yeah, they need to be locked up for what they did. Yes, 100% need to be locked up for what they did.
That's the house. That's the house. All the fireworks. They completely broke the roof off that mother. The whole roof, the walls, the wood is gone. That's the house. Where is the garage? I don't even know where the garage is at. It's gone, huh? And guess what? The four brothers is gone too. You understand? Because of you just refusing to obey your God. Man. You're going to turn around and do something to destroy us. You're going to do it. Like, this is ridiculous.
It's a locket, sir.
The house blew up.
Yes, sir.
Blew up, huh?
Yes, sir.
It ain't just like catch on fire.
No, kind of the guns.
This blew up.
Sir.
Blew up, man. It blew the whole roof off. It blew everything away. Like, this is terrible.
And like again, in one turn, I feel bad for him. In another turn, yeah, I still feel bad for him because the dude that's the father in this situation, the Terrell Cooks, right? I feel bad for that man because that is what his actions led to for his son. And I also still feel bad for him because he believed that what he was doing was okay. Like it's one thing. It's one thing if you do something like that and you know what you're doing ain't right. But he thought there was nothing wrong with what he did.
He thought he was gonna make some money. Look at all the damn fireworks, man. Look at all them fountains and things on the ground. He thought he was gonna make a whole lot of money.
Sir.
He thought however much they was making, he was gonna sell all that.
And Salaki and share that with his son. He thought what he was doing was a benefit to his family.
You know, when you gotta understand something, black, Hispanic, and Indian man, woman, and child. The Lord is against you when you celebrate the 4th of July.
Damn right.
If you buy fireworks, if you manufacture the fireworks, you understand the Lord is against you. And you just might turn around and blow up your damn family.
Yeah, God.
You just might. It's not even worth it, man. Like you said, they don't even understand how very volatile, how very easy gunpowder is to explode. They don't know that. You got pounds and pounds of it.
Right.
In your garage.
Sir.
And like you said, they don't know that static can turn around and set stuff off. You know? You ain't gotta light it.
La, sir.
Too much static, too much friction, all they can turn around and blow stuff up. And it did. And I'm sure they were about nervous as hell trying to manufacture this stuff. You know, and look at what happened.
And Salakia, sir, too, with that, it's a chain reaction. Right? The static will allow for the first explosion. The first explosion, a tiny spark is all that's needed to hit any part of the other load that you have, and everything goes up. Like it is unstable in the form that it's in, and being a 16, 17, 18, and 21-year-old, you don't even make regular decisions right. Like most people, I'm willing to go ahead and double check this. Most people who have baby mamas that they would never want to be with ever, all happened before they was 25. Every one of them. Because even science tells you your frontal lobe, your decision making part of your brain is not even formed until you're 25. And none of those brothers was over 25. None of those had correct decision making processes. The two men who did, that's why they're being held accountable. And you killed your son. I'm sorry. That's what happened. These are the facts.
You gotta have a license for this stuff. You understand? You
Slocky.
gotta have a license to manufacture and distribute and sell. Now they got people that buy and sell and they get away with it, for a while. I remember, was it last year or before that? They was on Martin King something real. They was over on page. They all over the place selling them. But police ain't just stopping every single person. You understand? That's selling the fireworks. But you're supposed to have a license when it comes to this. And they most certainly didn't have one trying to manufacture them, and they didn't have a license.
This is not just like a driver's license. Right. To manufacture explosives, you must go through schooling, have your certification, get your license through the ATF, and then you need a special endorsement from the ATF to specifically manufacture explosives, which is a completely separate course. What I'm talking about is about 4 separate tests and about 2 or 3 different schools that you have to go to be able to manufacture this. A 16-year-old has no business in the building. Like, there's a reason a lot of these safeguards are put in place, right? There's a reason a lot of these requirements are set up, and it's because the people who created it, our oppressor, the devil, because they are the best at destruction, understand destruction and death better than you. That is their culture. Their culture is death and destruction, so they know it better than you. This is why you can't take up arms against our oppressor, because that's all they know. All they know is death and violence. What you know poetry, you know love, compassion. They don't know those things. All they know is how to kill and how to destroy something. And even they say, listen, be careful with this. Like, the devil said, hey, that's a little too hot. You might want to, I'm going to show you like these 2-3 years of courses before you can touch it.
And here you is in your garage.
Your garage.
With chemicals and gunpowder, explosives, and all of it right there. All of it, not just a little bit. What you, let's say you got some stored somewhere else, and then you come with a little bit, and you make a little bit, make a few, make 50 of the damn things, and then safely ship it somewhere, store it, and then come back with another 50, and keep going like that.
Slocky, what you're saying is the regulation.
Yeah, that's how they do it.
That is the regulation. That's how it's supposed to be done.
You can have all it in one space at one time. But them, they didn't know that. You understand? They don't know that. They just trying to get paid. And then this is why. Now, it's not a sin to manufacture products. It's not a sin to even pop products. It's a sin when you're trying to pop them on 4th of July. When you're celebrating our oppressor's holiday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They were doing this for the 4th of July. And that's what puts them in violation of the law. This is why, unfortunately, this thing happened to them, and it's happened to so many of our people. So many houses that has been, it's another one, Ferguson house got set on fire with fireworks. There's another family sitting outside, they blew up in their face. You understand? Like, this happened. They sitting there, they like them on the sidewalk, they all sitting up in the yard by the house, you know what I'm saying? By the porch, in the grass, and then the thing falls over and bounces the thing away, and it blow up in everybody's face sitting on the damn grass. And here you think you say 10, 15 feet, 20 feet, away from the thing when it bounced back and blew up in your
Right
face.
on you. Kind of good, sir.
Like
Okay.
crazy. You know
Kind
what
of
I'm saying?
good. And it's a lot of it. Only fireworks my kids go see is at the Passover.
Man, I'm here.
That's about it.
That's it. That's it. That's my man see fireworks too.
Because-
they go to see somewhere.
Kinda kind. Kinda kind.
It's at the Passover. You know
Kind
what
of
I'm
good.
saying?
And that's because I know that the men above me who set that up hired professionals.
Right.
They got people to come do those things who have studied, who take precautions, and make sure that we are far enough distance away to where that does not happen. Because there's nothing, like you said, there's nothing unlawful about fireworks. But the fact that you're celebrating the independence of your oppressor to oppress you without as much restraint. Because before they had to follow British law. Now they get to make up whatever they feel like doing. Whatever they want to do to you, that's what they want to do to you. Before they had to answer to the crown. Because Britain had their own laws on how they dealt with slaves. In America, they just got to create that on their own. They come up on the plantation. They deal with us how they feel like dealing with us. And that's what you celebrate. You celebrate our oppressor oppressing us greater than they ever have before, because that's what 4th of July signifies. It signifies where they don't have British rule, where they don't have to listen to the Brits on how they treat you. I mean, I don't care what else they didn't have to listen to the Brits on. I don't care about their taxes. That has nothing to do with me. What has to do with me is, at that day, they were no longer under British authority. And before British authority was kicked out, the Brits oversaw what happened on the plantations. They needed freedom from that. That's why the South fought. The South didn't care about taxes. They made money hand over fist. They didn't care about taxes. That was the North's problem, right? The South only cared about the regulations over their property, the slaves. So that's what they were fighting for. Get those chains off of us. We want to be able to do whatever we want to do to these people. And you are stopping us. That's what they fought for. And so if you want to keep celebrating your oppressor being able to treat you the way he wants to treat you and do whatever he wants to do with you, that's death. That's death. Our God protects us, our people, and our culture. You are fighting against us. So you get to die.
And this whole family died except for the two. You know, all because of you sinning against the Lord, trying to manufacture and pop, set off, and celebrate the holiday. They thought they was going to have a lot of money after that.
Kind of concert.
All of that.
Kind of concert.
Look at that stuff, man. And I know it's more than what we can actually see.
Right, kind of concert.
But that has to be a couple of hundred other things.
Oh yeah, kind of.
Easy. That's gotta be about roughly about. I'm just looking at it, guessing. That's gotta be about 300, at least. It's probably more than that.
Oh, Salakia, sir.
It's probably more than that.
Salakia, sir. I'm willing to bet that's over 1,000.
Yeah, it might be, but I'm just just saying.
Because look at all I'm saying is look at how low the floor is and how high that's piled.
Yeah.
That's got to be 1,000 out of what? At least.
I'm just saying that. Hey, I'm just giving it a small number.
I understand, sir. I understand.
Damn. You understand? Like, come on. They really thought they was gonna celebrate and have some money. Instead, you're in jail and then your kids are dead.
Okay.
You understand? Give me the next one.
The next article? Out of what?
Yeah,
Kind of kind, sir.
I want to get the last two out the way.
Kind of
Time we're gonna get out of here. We got to make these points. We got to read these articles. You understand? This is the only way that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are truly going to be free, right? Is when they free their mind from all of the oppression and from the Christianity and from the thinking that you got to celebrate these days. Because that's how you're going to celebrate right there. Your house is going to be the next house to blow up.
Yeah, I'm right.
You understand? Your house is going to be the next house to blow up. You understand? That's what's going to happen. Okay? It keeps happening. It has been happening, and it keeps happening, and it's not going to stop until, guess what, until you stop. You understand? The black community can, guess what, be great again once you stop saying.
Damn
Once
right.
you stop acting like you white. You understand? But this is a very white thing to do, celebrate the 4th of July. This is a very white thing to do because that's whose freedom you celebrate, not your own.
God.
Not your own. You are celebrating white freedom that you helped get. You understand?
Right.
And then you really benefit from the freedom. And then now you turn around and their pockets that you don't even benefit from. You understand? The black community does not benefit one way or the other off of not $1 being sold toward a firework.
Damn right.
You understand? We don't benefit and see none of that money.
Kind of, sir.
You know, come on with the next one.
Kind of, sir.
We're going to blaze through that one real quick so we can get to that last one.
Kind of. At least 18 shots, 7 killed in St. Louis City since Friday.
This was since Friday. When did that article come out? It came out on, was it Monday? What day did that one drop?
It's like yes, sir. That one came out on. 1 second. I'm checking the calendar.
I think it came out on Sunday. If I'm not mistaken, I think it came out Sunday.
Kind of, sir. Yeah, it came out on Sunday.
It came out on Sunday.
Kind of, so that's about a day and a half. Kind of, sir.
Yeah, you understand. In preparations.
Salakia, sir. On Sunday at 5:57 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So this is early morning Sunday.
Yeah.
Kind of.
You understand? This is and know that they know that this is all due to the holiday coming up. That's why they put that in them articles. You understand?
Okay.
About the holiday weekend, you know, or the week of the holiday, whatever it is. You understand? By this holiday being on that Monday, guess what? They was already celebrating. You understand?
God.
The slaves were celebrating on Friday.
God.
You know, they were putting fireworks all half the year. You understand?
God.
I've been hearing fireworks about 2 months now. You know, not just on the 4th, but for 2 months, I've been hearing fireworks going off everywhere.
Damn right.
And it's every year. I'm saying in the strain. This is every year. Somebody's popping some fireworks in the black community, in the hood, in the ghetto. Right along with all the crack and the heroin, the prostitutes, the johns, the pimps, the hoes, all of that. He popping fireworks, though. He popping fireworks.
God.
You understand? With all of the oppression, you are celebrating slavery, not freedom.
Salakia.
Come on with it.
And you know pimps be popping them fireworks with them hoes, make them feel good. You got to listen. You got to get a hose, a little cookout, a little fireworks, a little razzle dazzle, and make them feel good. Keep them on side. You know what I mean? Keep the complaints down, right? You do this for hoes because the fact of the matter is, what you got to do is you got to make sure their mind is right, and you got to give them something to celebrate. So while you pimping them, they not thinking about what you doing when you pimping them. They thinking about them good times. You know, the New Year's Eve party. Or the 4th of July. Right?
Don't forget the Christmas now.
You can't forget Christmas out of
The
one.
whole gift of Christmas.
Listen. Hoes get the best gifts on Christmas.
Mm-hmm. They do.
Right? And it's so they can make sure that they go out there and keep up their hoeing all year long. And the saddest part is, y'all niggas is hoes to our oppressor. They are pimping you all day long. You think you a pimp?
Right.
No, the white man is the pimp.
Right.
Okay, he keep you hoes in line
Yeah.
because listen, we know all of y'all just got shot up in Buffalo. But what we gonna do is we gonna make sure y'all celebrate this holiday. Make sure y'all shoot off fireworks. Make sure y'all take your mind off of the fact that we are murdering you in your grocery stores because we found it. And listen, I don't care what story they come out with. That happened because that man was creating that car engine that ran on water. Period. Period. I don't. They can say whatever reason. That man was set up because he created that engine that can run on water, and that black people will benefit off of.
God, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And all of this stuff, you know, all of this stuff that we are celebrating, all these holidays, American holidays, especially this one before, you understand, is extremely evil holiday. It is extremely evil to celebrate. You understand? When we know that we don't even have any freedom here. You understand? We have absolutely no freedom when it comes to being free here in America. You understand? Go jump to that last article. Let's get about it.
Kind, sir. Kind, sir. All right, last article says. Oh, sloppy. Pulled it up. Where did it go? Oh, sloppy. Okay, cut. More than 220 shot and killed in U.S. gun violence over the July 4th holiday weekend.
Shot and killed. How many was it again?
200 and it's like it. More than 220.
220. More than 220 murders here in this country for the like. What do you celebrate? Like, I thought you was happy. I thought it was a happy time, right? Holidays is about family coming together.
God.
Not coming together, killing each other.
Got.
Over 220 dead now.
Oh, Salakia.
For this holiday.
Salakia.
Huh?
Murdered, sir.
Murder.
Because those 4 that just got blown up, they don't count. Because this is only with guns.
Yeah, you're right.
This isn't what the fireworks did.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happened with guns.
Yeah, you're right. The gun violence. Same violence from 1776.
Damn right.
The murder that took place for this. I mean, just go back to the people that was living here, the Native Indians, right? That were living here, they got murdered in order for them to call this their land. Like, let's start there.
Kind.
Then they want to turn around and fight for the land. And then murder all of the people back then in 1776. And the murders and the bodies keep stacking up in 2022.
Kind, sir.
220 murders, not deaths total, due to these holidays. Not deaths total due to the holidays, but the murders. You understand? The murders. Shalom says, one second. You are the sister that be taking our flyer.
Yes, sir. And I give them all the way out. I give them, I pass them out to people.
You pass them out where?
All the way out to past Clayton, where more.
Step to the side so I don't want you to get out of camera.
I don't take them just to get them. I take them and pass them out. Because I met you before.
You met me before where?
Somewhere out here. I met you probably on the situation.
Hold on one second.
Because you told me, you said, you're not no Muslim like that.
Hold on one second.
You need to come to Israeli school.
When did you get permission to take our flyers?
I did.
You didn't?
But I knew while they sitting here, I was hoping y'all didn't think that somebody was just taking.
Yeah, we did. You know, we actually banned you from the building.
All right.
We actually banned you from the building.
Why?
Huh?
Why? Because I'm helping?
Because you didn't get permission.
Oh, I see.
Let me tell you some explanation. Well, how that looks is it looks as if you are just taking you take every flyer that's out there.
I pass
right?
them out.
Just hold on, listen to what I'm saying. You take every single flyer out there. We have 8 stacks of flyers, right? That you take every single one. That's not normal. You understand? To turn around and don't even leave any in for someone that may come in the building that may want to fly. You get what I'm saying? And then let me tell you something. We can watch you on camera. And the way that you take, you go and you grab all the flyers, and then you go to the other flyer rack that's not ours, and you put them all up there, right? And then you was looking around. I got you on camera. I can show
What
it
you
to
mean
you.
I put them on?
I can show it to you.
Okay,
that
show
brown,
it to
that
me.
brown
Show me.
rack.
When you said
That
put it
brown
back.
rack. That brown rack that you went to. You put them on there, right? And
No.
then yes, I got you on camera. I can
Okay,
play
but
it.
that ain't the way I've been
Yes,
doing
it
it.
is the way that you did.
Why
You
would I
did
put
it
it
on
up
camera.
there?
And you put it up there, and then you turned around, and then you picked them back up, and then you walked out the door. Right? That's what it is. So this is what I'm gonna ask you. Right? If you want to be a member of this school, you come to class. Come to class. If you want to help, you could have called the number on the door and said, hey, I want to help you guys get the message out. I want to take and pass flyers out, pass plate, wherever the hell you want to pass them out.
And I do.
You could have
I
simply
understand
gave us
what
a
you're
call.
saying, sir.
You are a supervisor. You are a supervisor. So you can definitely come join us.
Right.
Damn right.
You understand? We encourage
You
our
asked
people
me
to
to a
come.
long time ago. You might not remember. But you said you should come to our school. You told me exactly where it
Yeah.
was. And I've been around since Willie Marshall and Zakiba Ruti. Been headed up in here. Willie Marshall is my friend.
Okay.
He pays. So that he's still with me. Because he come to me and tell me some things to do too. But I apologize for all of that you seen on camera
Yeah,
that I
okay.
wasn't supposed to do. But I
Right.
promise
So,
you, if
so
I have any
don't take
today,
the
I'm going to
flyers.
pass them out too.
So don't take the flyers anymore. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? All you gotta do is, matter of fact, give her a flyer with our number on it. Give her one with the number on it so she pass them all out.
I have some.
When you want some flyers, you call me. My name is
Okay.
Captain the Gargamel, okay?
And you don't
If you
remember
want to
meeting
pass
me
out flyers?
and telling me, sister, you're not that type of, you're a Muslim, that's not you. You said, come to my school and I'll teach you who you are. We'll teach you who you are.
Okay, so why you ain't do that first?
What? Come to school?
Come in here and learn who you are.
yeah,
Instead of
it
just
wasn't
taking the
meant to be
flyers.
until now.
Huh?
I guess it
So
wasn't meant to be
you
until now.
gonna come on into school
Yeah,
and learn.
right.
All right, no sweat.
And if I'm not a Muslim, that's gonna show out. And versus your school to teach me who exactly I really am. I really am.
No sweat.
And I mean, I apologize for everything I did against your culture, my tribe,
No sweat, sis. Like I said,
and I'll make up for it
no sweat. Well, how
by
you
being
make
school.
up? There you go. That's how you make up for it. Like come and being a sister. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And actually being the truth with us. That's how you do that.
And learning
And-
exactly
and if
what
not-
Israeli, Israelites are.
If not, I'm gonna charge you $1,000 for all the paper you stole. Because that was
You
a
said
lot.
so.
That was a lot of paper.
You said, okay, let's be area on that.
I'm gonna say you stole it. Because you didn't have permission to take it.
Okay.
You can
said
definitely take some for the information, but you took all of some. You ain't taking just a few.
all the
You took-
time.
I know.
I
All the
apologize.
time. I know.
I give my.
And that's thousands of dollars of paper. You
Okay.
understand? That was a lot of paper.
I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
And we struggle as Israelites.
Yeah. So if you don't come to class, I'm going to get that $1,000. Walk up on you. I know you got it. I'm gonna say, give me my $1,000. That's what I'm gonna say if you don't come to class.
I like that. And you know what? When I turn around, I feel all spirits. I promise you. I feel all good spirits, good vibes.
That's good. That's good.
And that's, the first time I met you, I felt that.
You did? That's
I
good.
said, sister, what's up, sister? You need to come to Israel, our Israelite school.
Yeah.
Right, and like I said, I've been all the way out, Manchester, Big Bean,
Mm-hmm.
what do you call
That's
it?
right.
A man can
I
have
got
two
you.
wives.
Why don't you have a seat?
A
real
man
quick?
can have two
Let
wives.
us finish what we doing here,
I'll find
and
it.
then we'll talk to you because you ain't gonna
I
I know. This killer here found the perpetrator. That he was ready to handle his business. You understand? We
I
been,
like
we
this.
been on high alert.
If he had to,
You
he'd kill
understand?
me. I already know.
Look, I knew this day would come.
Cut.
That we was just talking about her. Wasn't we?
Cut, okay, sir.
We was just talking about you.
Yes,
You
sir.
understand? And we got several pictures we was gonna post about you. You have been banned from this building. So you know we actually run this building. Commander Junior Hunter runs this building.
Damn right.
John owns it. You understand? They know. John will tell you this is our protection in this building.
God.
He
God of the
has
God.
he has told everybody in the building, no. You leave those brothers alone.
God
You
of God.
understand? Because since they've been here, we haven't had any problems here.
Right.
So even John knows. You understand?
God.
The manager behind of the ISUK runs this building.
Damn right.
So
That's all I can say. But that is one of the things that follows the ISUPK around everywhere. Right? The crime rate in the building we're in, because listen, let's be honest here. We know how many times the police were called here for ODs before we got here. How many times the police were called for shootings before we got here. Right? In this area, that's all that happens everywhere. Since we've been here, that's gone. Like, that doesn't happen here. There are a lot of places. Listen, where we are right now, every other place on the block has those issues. It does not here. Because the Most High God has chosen this spot for the ISUPK to be in. And
He keeps it away.
that cannot be here. Right? It cannot dwell here. Right? And as the captain said, you know what I mean? He says, listen, we love our people. Right? We want all of our people to be in here with us. And if that's something that you want to do and that's something you feel, come in to your brothers. And listen, we here 6 days a week. We here 6 days a week, sis. There was plenty of times, and you were taking the flyers. There are plenty of times that you could have just come in and said, listen, I'm taking these to do this. Right? So if you don't come in and you don't tell us that you're taking these to spread them out, what other thing would we believe that you're taking them for and clearing out every bin? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Because you have the information, you have you have the number, and what we do in here is teach our people how to be better than what we were. So that's what you need to do. And I'm glad you came in today, sis. I really am. That's a beautiful thing that you came in. The Most High God led you in here.
Yes, He did.
And now do not let Satan and the demons that you may have on you personally leave here without getting what you're supposed to get. And that is your culture, the truth of your God and what you are supposed to be doing.
Damn right. So let's finish this article up real quick. We're gonna get out of here. We're a little past the time.
Okay, sir.
You know what I mean? But we had 200 over 220 murders for the 4th of July.
Okay.
And then how many shootings did it say? Right behind it should be the amount of shootings that
Okay, sir. Gun violence spiked over 4th of July weekend, with the shootings reportedly in nearly every U.S. state, totaling at least 220 people killed and wounded close to 570 others, according to Gun Violence Archive.
Right, now almost 600 just shot, just the victims, people being shot from the violence, right? We got over 220, right? And then you got almost 600 of people just being shot, being injured. You understand? And this, like what we've been explaining since 1969, is we have to stop celebrating our oppressors' holidays. You understand? We have to stop, because it's going to end in more violence. It's been growing every year. The article just said that this took place in almost every state here in the U.S. That is ridiculous. And guess what? It's us. It's all us. It's all us.
They love it like that.
Right. It's all us. And guess what? It's because we are celebrating something that we are not supposed to celebrate.
Yeah, right.
We are engaging and indulging in something that we should never be a part of. You understand?
Right.
You got to turn around and look at the bigger picture. Why are we turning around and claiming that this is a day for the family to have a cookout, right? You in the backyard with the grill going and all this, but then you got all this other stuff going on at the very same time. Something has to be wrong with this picture, right? Something is definitely wrong with this picture, and it is against our God's law. I know you think God belongs to everybody, but He doesn't. I know you think that God loves every single thing that you do, and He
You want
doesn't.
to think that.
You understand? I know you think that God will forgive you, and you keep on doing the same old thing, and you keep on asking for Him to forgive you. I know you think that it worked like that, but God is not an idiot. He's not a fool. You are. You understand? And you think this way because of your Christian pastors, your Christian leaders. You understand? They make God seem and sound like an idiot, but He's not. When you go into the Bible, He tells you how He is. You understand? The ways of the Most High that He wants us to know, they're in the Bible. Right? Every single thing that the Most High wanted us to know about Him, about creation, about laws, about morals, about everything that we're supposed to do is in the Bible. Right? And He said never to celebrate. Give me them scriptures.
You got a flyer out there about the holiday.
About the holiday, yeah. We got the flyers sitting out
Yeah,
there.
I don't get the
Absolutely.
churches and stuff. I promise you I do. I do the people, leaders in churches, my block. I
You say you go
apologize
to
for
the
doing it
churches?
the wrong way.
You say you
But
go
it's
to
out
churches?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly it.
We're gonna teach you that. What you do is, that zeal, that fire that you got to bring that in here, right? Because you don't want to be like a misguided missile.
Yeah.
You understand? To where,
That's lucky.
hello,
She just said it. Maybe I don't do it in the right way.
yeah.
You need to come in here
Gotta learn.
to learn how to do it the right way.
Absolutely.
Just handing them out. I mean, people get handed papers all day long.
Hey,
How many
handed them out yesterday?
How many Jehovah's Witness tracks do you think is thrown in the trash? Because nobody actually listened to them when they were talking to them, and they just handed them paper. They're like, okay, great, and then throw it in the garbage. You have to learn how to give your message first before you start just going out handing out paper, because nobody's going to read. That's black people's problem. We don't read anything. So if you didn't make them interested in the first place, if you didn't know how to talk to them in the first place, when they read it, they didn't listen, they didn't look at it, they looked at it for a half a second, and was like, oh, nope, throw it away.
Capture that
And
issue.
then, real quick, you can actually put yourself in harm's way too.
Kind.
You know, in the Bible, they killed our king for things that we are saying.
Yeah.
And guess what? They want to kill us too.
Kind.
They want to see us gone.
Yeah. They
You
don't want us to
understand?
put that message out there.
And we protect our sisters and our children and our brothers in here.
Damn
You
right.
understand? We don't put you out in harm's way.
Damn
You
right.
understand? So we won't have a sister out there passing out flyers, you know, knowing that, because I done had people, how many times have we been at camp and almost got attacked?
Oh,
I'm gonna give you a
it's
story.
like it every
I'm
time.
gonna give you a story. This one was funny. This one was real funny.
Right.
Downtown, this was before they shut down Reverend Rice, right? They had the park, before they made it a dog park. The
Right.
homeless park where our brothers and sisters were sleeping at and didn't have a place to live. Yeah, before they made it a dog park,
Library.
that was a park with benches, you know, where children could play, but the homeless had to lay because they didn't have a place to stay. Damn, was them bars?
Kind. Bars, sir.
Them bars.
Bars.
You know what I'm saying?
Kind, sir.
But anyway, when we was having camp right on that corner,
Mhm.
all right at the edge of the library, right? So we having camp. We had a big camp. We had the police. We had the police. We had the police come, and they were standing there. You understand? They were listening to us. They got out their cars.
Yeah.
The police even got out their vehicles. We had a huge crowd. I mean, we had so many people out there that day. It was the homeless in the park, the cars, the traffic. They was pulling over, parking, trying to hear what we were saying. The police got out of their cars, listening to what we were saying. We had everybody out there. And so one of the other brothers was speaking, right? So I had him on the podium. He's speaking, and he says something. I forgot what he said exactly. But it triggered this white woman. Karen got all in her feelings, right? And she came over running her mouth, and she was like, hey, what did white people ever do to you? You know? And so I took control then. And I get on the mic, and I said, what have white people done to us? What haven't they done to us, right? And so I started breaking it down. And then there was a white man come by then, right? And he, of course, they was in the crowd already. He was listening. He came to the front with the white girl. So while she's screaming and hollering and going on, here he come. because he heard me say that the white man and the white woman was the devil. So now I got the white man and the white woman, the devil standing before me, right? And so I'm going in on both of them. I'm blazing on him, blazing on her. You know, he like, man, I ain't no devil. I ain't the devil, this and that, you know. And so I break that and I'm going in. And so after so long, I got down, right? I let the brother continue to speak. And I could hear a sister yelling somewhere. I couldn't see her yet, right? I knew she was somewhere out there. I could hear something, and it caught my ear, and I was like, what is she saying? And so I goes to the brother. I found the sister first in the crowd, right? I finally spotted her. I saw her yelling and screaming. And I go to the brother and ask him, what did she say? And he said, what she was saying was, I love white people. That's what she was saying. That's why I got my ear, right? Yeah. And so I look again and I see her walking up to all the white people, giving them hugs and kisses. I love white people. I love white people, right? This is what she's doing. Okay? So I turn around, I get back up on the mic, right? I started going in on, because that right there shows that a people is oppressed, right? That shows oppressed people, because here you are, you're loving the murderers of your people.
Well, Louis Farrakhan talk about it. Just like you talk about.
You understand? Here you are loving the people that was murdering us, put us in chains, murdering us, and still are to this very day, right? So I go back up on the podium, speaking on that now, right? Going in about what she's saying, what she's doing. And so this is the mind. This is our people. Most of them are slaves, right? This sister is a slave. She loves her slave master. Okay. You know, so I going in on that. And so I see the white man, the one that was saying that he wasn't the devil. I see him goes to one of the brothers. Now I don't know if he actually like works out in the park. You know, some men actually work out in parks. You know, they use all of the toys, jungle gyms, and the little things to work out on. If you ever seen that, you know.
Yes, sir.
And so the brother, he turned around and the white boy goes to the brother. And he said, whatever he whispered to him, like I said, I couldn't hear that conversation. But I see the white boy talking to the brother. And he convinces him, right? And then the brother said, he took his shirt off, threw it in the earth. He said, and he jumped down on the ground. This is whatever the white man said, so this is no lie. We got it all on tape. Got it all on camera. The white boy goes to the brother, right? The one that was saying, I'm not the devil. He convinced him of whatever he said. The brother took his shirt, threw it off up in the earth, jumped down on the ground, did about 100 push-ups real quick, and then jumped up and told the white boy, grabbed him, he said, let's get him. Right? And so they came charging over there to us. I stopped. I said, hold on.
I'm laughing, but it's
right.
Right.
I told I stopped him. I said, hold on. I said, now, we're not out here to hurt our people. Right. But if you come over here and you try to attack us, you're not going to be happy with that. You know?
Right.
You are not going to be happy with your end. So if you turn around and try to come up against us with this white man, you're gonna get dealt with him just like that.
Okay.
You understand?
Right.
And that backed him all.
You gonna get the same people you gonna get him.
Right. So the point I'm making with that is that we have so many. Well, I mean, stories about that. I mean, we can go on and on and on forever. But because we are the ones, the men that's supposed to defend this nation, not our sisters, right? Right. So in most cases, we wouldn't put you in a situation to where we know it's potentially dangerous and harmful. You see what I'm saying? Passing out fires can be potentially dangerous and harmful.
Thank you, Lord.
Go ahead, boy.
That's like a quick precept real quick.
Go ahead, boy.
Proverbs 11:21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. Listen, just because they can convince some of our people to come up against us, right, don't mean that they not about to get what they gonna get. However, knowing and living in this environment and in this society, we have to understand our people have been seduced by our oppressor. Yeah, right? And we know that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. But that's just because he is able to deceive the entire world.
Okay.
He's able to convince us that we need to fight us to protect him, and that's in our best interest.
Right. Right. Come on with it.
Like, this devil has convinced our people. Martin Luther King.
Malcolm X.
Not Malcolm X. Malcolm X, he wasn't convinced of that. Malcolm, look, I got problems with Malcolm X.
Right.
That ain't one of them. Because he told them white people, listen, you stay on the outside.
Yeah, right.
Martin Luther King was like, nah, come and join the white people. But most of our people identify with Martin, let alone not Malcolm.
Right.
They don't get that. Like, they might quote something Malcolm said, but they're not gonna quote, yeah, white woman, you can do what you need to do in your community, but our community's over here. They're not quoting that. They're not quoting when Malcolm told them, listen, you leave them white people alone and just build with yourself. They're not quoting that. Right? What they're quoting is Martin, and when Martin told us to, and like the scripture I pulled before, when we make an agreement with death. Right? When we make a covenant with our oppressor who only knows death. Right? We need to come in here to listen, because what we don't know is how to act at all, in any way, shape, or form, in any facet of life. We don't know how to act because we've been taught everything by our oppressor or someone else who's been taught by our oppressor. In here, we learn how to carry ourselves as a man and a woman according to our culture. Everything we've always been taught has been according to the culture we've gotten since slavery. And a slave's culture is no culture at all. You build a culture as a free man. You build a culture as a free woman. You don't build something when you are in bondage to another nation of people.
Right. Absolutely.
No,
So I'm sure everybody gets the
on
point.
that other people.
You understand?
So I understand wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing in this world can catch me but the truth. In this world, anymore, can catch me but the truth. And the truth is what? The light. The dark, that's hate. That's the dark. That's standing in the dark. The falsehood, perpetrating, that's all false. And y'all gotta excuse my demeanor. But I'm still with you.
That's all right.
Wholehearted.
So
So
what
what
the
you
scripture says to come as you are.
Right.
Whatever mind has
Right.
said that
Come as you
in.
are. Damn
You
right,
understand? You
Otherwise.
come here and get
Damn
stuff
right,
will
Otherwise.
fix you. You understand? You
And
let
y'all
us-
gonna fix
you
it.
let us teach you.
Y'all gonna help me teach, but Allah gonna fix this.
Yeah, you let us
He
teach
wants
you.
you. He want
You
this.
let us
to
have
represent
the
him.
Satan's
Salaki. Yahweh. Not Allah.
Joshua.
Oh, yeah.
It's Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yahweh is the name of the Most High.
Okay, Yahweh.
Right?
Yeah.
Allah.